So there are three certainties in life. There's death, there's taxes, and there's Rob Gronkowski getting fucking hurt. Welcome back to the second draft, everybody.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back.
Oh, so what are you drinking, Alex? For your first time
I'm
joining us,
drinking-
we need to know what you're drinking.
Well, yes, my first time on this segment, I am drinking the Kolsch from Mother Road Brewing Company here in Flagstaff.
Nice. What's your
It
review?
is, it's excellent. It's one of my favorites of theirs. Tower Station is probably my favorite, followed by Lost Highway, which is a black IPA. This is a really approachable golden ale, as the Kolsch suggests. And yeah, I don't know. It's good for, sessionable. I think is the term that we frequently use here.
We do,
but
maybe overuse.
Maybe that's the last time. We'll have a penalty for using sessionable any longer. But
You lose one pick every time you say sessionable. Yeah.
ooh, yeah.
Speaking
I
of
like
which,
Yeah.
I'm in the lead. You're
By
in
How
last
many-
place.
Yeah,
what
you're
are you
in
guys-
last place
am
in
I?
picks.
Yeah.
I know, it's bad.
So anyway, the
What?
Mother Road Kolsch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll have to,
Mother
maybe
Road
we can
Kolsch.
do that
It's
next
good.
week.
I think sometimes it's referred to as Gold Road. I don't know how far out of Arizona it's kind of distributed, but I've seen it down in the valley a couple of times, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's got a pretty wide distribution. What are we drinking, Paige?
We're drinking some Prairie Artisan, the Funky Gold Mosaic, which is a dry hopped sour ale. And I didn't get it from my cousin, who's a slacker. I got it from Tops in Tempe. So I haven't had a sip yet. Have you had it?
I have not. No,
Okay,
I've been abstaining. So it smells fantastic. It's got like a very almost like an orange juice scent to it. I like it a lot.
It's really yummy.
Yeah.
It's got like just a smidge sour, but like not even really sour. It's really smooth.
It almost
And
tastes like a mimosa.
citrusy. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
That's yummy.
Really solid
Well
carbonation.
worth the $9 a bottle.
Yeah, really solid carbonation. It's got that orangey, like that orange juice flavor to it. It tastes like mimosa.
Yeah,
I really, really
That's
dig it.
really good.
Right on.
Good
Well
morning
done,
beer, then.
Oklahoma City.
Let's see ABV on this.
I don't know.
Made by people who
8.5.
truly care. From Oklahoma with love. 6.5 here. So
Yeah, so.
yeah.
Wow, yeah.
So yeah.
We
The
have.
Funky Gold Mosaic
Yeah.
from Prairie. I'm a
pretty
fan.
good.
Punchy
Yeah.
for a breakfast beer.
Yeah, so should we talk about
So
last week? Recap last week.
Yeah, I mean we can a little bit
Yeah,
recap last
Before-
week's.
cool.
before we get into last week,
Mm-hmm.
what is everybody at now? I'm 10 games down from 31. I know I'm losing right now. I'm far behind by one game or two games.
Not too far. Not too far.
Are you getting nervous? By the way,
No,
when
I'm
we
not.
get you that Khalil
Not-
Mack
especially when
jersey, what size do you wear? Are you like a medium or large? I would say more like a
You know,
medium.
I think we set these stakes kind of late, but I'm not going to be wearing that jersey. I'm going to make a comeback. Just wait. It's not going to be this week because I think we're going to agree on a lot of this week's picks. Just taking a look at who's playing, but
Maybe.
Yeah,
later
there's
on-
been a
oh,
overwhelming
okay.
amount of agreement so far, but DT's got 24 right. I have 23 right, and you have 21 right, Alex. So you're not too far behind. If I had
Yeah.
just stuck with DT's like dummy
amazing
pick
picks.
and
What
the
was my dummy pick?
yeah, 'cause like when you set up when you're testing the helmets. You had you and Alex picking New England's, and you had me picking Kansas City, and I should have just stuck with the
yeah.
Kansas City thing because I would have been,
Yeah.
you and I would have been tied.
I think I
would've
just
been
need to
great.
go with my gut because I'm letting my head get into it too much, and it's not panning out for me.
Well, I understand your existential fear of having to own and wear a Raiders jersey for an entire season. I get it.
It's rough.
I don't know where this punishment came from. It wasn't agreed upon, so.
Says the guy who's losing.
To establish this week 3, that's rough. Yeah, you can't start this week 3.
Well, if you had been here the first 2 weeks,
There, boom. There it is.
Are we gonna have a league side wager or
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
because you
is
and I
this where
play
you
each other fantasy this week. Yeah,
Oh,
it might be.
yeah. Should we do that right now?
I don't know. I got nothing off the top of my head.
So maybe we just pick out the games we all disagreed, like some of us disagreed on.
Sure, yeah.
From last week.
Yeah.
So disagreement on the Tennessee and Jacksonville game.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee won, and Alex picked Jacksonville.
Yeah. They surprised me week 1, and I went with the roll.
You went with the hot hands.
Yeah, that's understandable. Mm-hmm. But it's choices like that that are going to land you in a Raiders jersey.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I think, too, we all kind of expected Tennessee last year. You know, we watched them not like be okay, but nothing spectacular. So
a lot of potential last season.
Yeah, so.
That I think they're really kind of growing into now.
Definitely. Agreed. The Miami Chargers game. So Dolphins Chargers game.
You can gloat.
I'm gonna gloat a little bit. So last week I had like all this stuff, like all my notes about why I was picking who I was picking, and then it disappeared. So I didn't know why I picked Miami, but I picked Miami and they won. So that was fun.
I really thought that San Diego's defense was just gonna terrorize Jay Cutler, and he was stoic in that pocket.
Yeah,
he threw some deep balls. Like I'm glad to see it. Like I'm not somebody who's like anti Jay Cutler, but it was good to see him actually smiling.
Yeah,
for
he
the
seems
first
happy.
time in like 8 or 9 years. Like
yeah. I think
he looked like a pro football player.
He looked like somebody who enjoyed being a pro football player more than that. Like he was having fun throwing the deep ball and like
not having to play for the Bears might have been
maybe
like the thing he needed.
Yeah.
And then, so DT and I both picked Dallas to beat Denver, and boy, was that a mistake.
Yeah, that was...
Alex got that one.
The homer.
Yeah. The homer was right. Well done. You guys shut down Zeke, and he only got like 8 yards. It was unreal.
Rushing.
That was fun to watch. As a Cardinals fan, I loved watching Dallas just like self-destruct. It was beautiful.
Maybe it's good for Zeke's pride to get checked a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, your guys' defense just like brutalized that offensive line.
Yeah, he sure didn't take it very well, though.
He's a big baby.
Sulking and...
Yeah, and I heard Jerry was really pissed off, which always also makes me happy. I love when Jerry Jones is pissed off. Retribution for your crappy Hall of Fame speech, Jerry. We all picked Seattle, and even though we were all right, that game was terrifyingly close.
Yeah.
So Seattle's offensive line, I'm going to venture to say, is the worst in football.
They're in the running.
It's really bad.
Them and Chicago and the Cardinals, they're all in the running. Yeah.
Cardinals' offensive line's better than Seattle's.
Colts.
Think so?
Yeah. The
Colts.
Well, I mean, everything on the Colts.
Wait, the Colts have an offensive line?
Well, half. They have about half.
Like 2, yeah. And their front 5 is really like 2.5 people.
Yeah.
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 And
just roll out some tackling dummies just to fill out the gaps.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then let's see, what else did we disagree on? So both Alex and I picked the Rams, and you picked the Redskins, and you were right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job on that.
I know.
The Rams defense kind of...
They faltered a little bit. They had a super hot week 1, and I kind of felt like they were going to cool down against that that Redskins offense. And yeah, I had a feeling about that one.
Yeah.
It wasn't a strong feeling, but it was a feeling. I followed it through.
But Todd Gurley looked...
Dude, Todd Gurley looked beastly.
Awesome. Yeah, he looked
Jumping
really good.
over dudes and...
Catching passes, running the ball. It was good to see Todd Gurley in like maybe rookie form again. Yeah. It was nice. And then that was all the disagreement last week. So no like major surprises.
Yeah.
No like Kansas City upsetting the Patriots this week. So I guess we can get into week 3. Oh my God, week 3.
They say the third sequel is always the worst. Like, I wouldn't say Return of the Jedi is the best Star Wars movie. What came after Wrath of Khan? Was it The Search for Spock? Yeah, because Spock died in Wrath of Khan. That wasn't great. Alien 3 wasn't nearly as good as Aliens or Alien. So let's kick that trend, everybody.
Yeah.
Let's make week 3 the best week we've had so far.
Yeah.
Don't fuck this up, Alex.
Thanks.
Yeah, continue on your losing trend.
We've been on
not
a
gonna
really
be-
good roll without you here, so I don't want you jumping on board and like pulling the wheels off the train. So
Yeah.
do
Well-
trains have wheels?
Yes,
They have wheels.
of course.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
not
but
hover
there's
trains
it's
yet.
more like rails. It's not a.
But there's
it's not a
wheels
direct-
on the rails. But
Yeah.
it comes off the rails, probably not off the wheels.
Okay.
Yeah.
So would a better analogy be like
you're
Alex,
mixing your metaphors.
Don't pull this bus off these tracks.
There you go. Also mixing
Sure.
metaphors. This is a new thing apparently.
It does not work like that.
I was the kid who took all of his Lego sets and took them apart and combined them into new Lego sets. So
That's smart though.
that's
Yeah.
It's like a leitmotif in my
That's
life.
just creativity. You can't make that comparison
Right.
here.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
not the same as mixed
Thank you.
metaphors. It's just
Right.
All right, so
week 3 is not
first-
going to be
yeah.
Godfather Part 3. Let's talk.
Oh
Ooh,
god, I
God,
should have
that
mentioned
was-
the Godfather
oh.
Part 3.
No,
God.
so bad.
Coppola, what the fuck, man?
Ugh.
I don't know.
Mm.
what
Try.
happened.
You can't top the
Lost
horse
World?
head in the bed. Like, just stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
All right, so week 3 kicks off with a game I don't think anybody's going to be really excited about. I think Thursday night football might have the least like viewers all season with this game.
The NFL itself is making a strong case just by itself for getting rid of Thursday night football.
Yeah.
By literally putting the shittiest games on Thursday night
That's
football.
true. Their scheduling just kind of trash.
Yeah.
So Thursday night is the Rams at the 49ers. So, Alex, you want to go first?
It's despite everything, I'm going to pick the Rams.
No, I think in this case you're
I don't-
going
I don't
in
like the
favor of
Niners at all.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to go
I'm gonna
Rams
go Rams.
as well. I think that defense is just going to run all over. Well, they got Hoyer the Destroyer as their quarterback now. Carlos Hyde is a little scary, but no, that Rams defense has been dominant, and that's such a weak Niners offense. I'm definitely going Rams for sure.
Yeah, I'm going Rams. I have copious notes to make up for my lack of notes last week.
Copious.
The Niners do look better. I think Shanahan is making some improvements, and they almost managed to win against Seahawks last week. Which going into the season, we all thought that the Seahawks would be pretty formidable, but
Everybody
they're
always
showing
thinks that, though.
not to be. But Todd Gurley, like we said, looked freaking awesome. I love seeing him look good.
Yeah.
136 yards from scrimmage and 2 touchdowns. So that was huge.
Yeah.
So I'm picking the Rams because the 49ers are, even though they're improved, they're still the 49ers of the last several years. So
Yeah.
I'm going with that one.
Yeah, Carlos
and the
Hyde's
Rams'
part of the
new
reason
coach
that I won
is doing some
last
good
week.
stuff,
So grateful for that.
Yeah.
Robert had him on the
Yeah.
bench.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and Thomas Rawls, like I have him. I don't know if it's in our league or my other league, but I'm gonna.
Oh, it's in our league.
Yeah, but
Is
I
it
won
DJ?
this week.
Took a Seahawks running back.
I had him. I think I took him like last
He did
round or
okay
something.
this week.
I kind of expected a little more from him fantasy wise, but I didn't realize that Seattle's offensive line was going to be such trash.
Well, everybody expects Rawls to break out. Like everybody thinks, ever since Beast Mode left, like this is gonna be a Rawls season. This is gonna be it. This is gonna be the one.
Yeah, we're still waiting. I'm done with my. I'm not having. No, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done with
Yeah.
Rawls. I'm done. Moving on.
Okay.
Next
game.
Next game, freaking 6:30 in the morning, Arizona time, because they're playing in London. The Ravens and the Jaguars.
We could do a whole separate podcast on the whole London thing and the pros and cons. I think the cons outweigh the pros.
Yeah, travel.
But-
I think that really is the biggest.
Yeah, and the NFL is streaming it online for all the millennials who no longer have cable. You're welcome. Say thank you to the NFL.
I'm a millennial who no longer has cable. I'm very happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could get all our sports channels. Good for you guys.
Yeah.
I get it right here.
Yeah.
NFL on the network, NFL Mobile,
Yeah.
and stream the games live with Verizon, which is pretty cool. This is not an ad.
we have no sponsors, you guys, so it's literally all opinion. So I also have Verizon. I like Verizon.
So I'll
who are you
go ahead.
picking?
I'll take the lead on this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Ravens. Paige and I were talking beforehand, and you said up to this point the Ravens have 8 interceptions
Yeah.
by like 4 different players or something.
Yeah, it's an obscene amount.
It's
Their
obscene.
defense is.
Yeah, and that's why I'm
They're
picking the
blowing
Ravens.
bitches up.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
like I'm not convinced about the Jaguars at all. I feel like that Week 1 performance was nice, but that Ravens defense is absolutely brutal, and I'm still not a firm believer in Bortles. So I think it's going to be maybe a low scoring game, but I think a lot of the points are going to come from that Ravens defense, and I think it's going to be Baltimore.
What about you, Alex?
I'm also going to go Ravens. I have a few Ravens on my roster right now, and I just dropped Mike Wallace because he wasn't doing anything. So, I mean, aside from that, I still like the Ravens over the Jags. Terrence West and Jeremy Maclin, they're going to catch and score many points. Not that many. You're right. It's going to be a low-scoring game.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's definitely going to be a battle of the defenses. Baltimore has been like gorging themselves on.
They've been,
I mean, they've been just eating like people's children for breakfast.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's one of the reasons I love football
and
is
Terrell
a good
Suggs
defense.
got his teeth fixed,
I
so
know.
now everything's going down
I know.
much smoother. He's chewing a whole lot easier these days.
Suggs, he looked great.
T Sizzle.
He looked,
Dude's a monster.
He is a monster.
He's a monster, but he's a nice guy.
Yeah, and that makes it all the better, especially when his ASU not grad, but ASU former player counterpart plays for the Bengals is a complete jerk.
Who's that? Vontez Perfect?
Yeah, perfect. But yeah, so I mean, I think the Jags defense has looked good.
Calais.
So, yeah, Calais. We love you, Calais. Every week we look at that picture of Calais. I anticipate it being a great game, but with Allen Robinson out, the Jags, the Jags don't have much. They'd need to rely on Fournette in the run game, and I don't think that's going to work against Baltimore's defense this week.
Yeah, Fournette's great.
So but that
run defense is formidable.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So it's a unanimous Ravens pick too.
Yeah.
So up next, we have the Steelers and the Bears. I think we can give this the Bills treatment from last week.
Steelers. Alex?
Steelers. Let's say Steelers.
Yeah. Sorry, Bears fans. We've gotten some flack recently about not properly covering certain games because certain games just honestly don't deserve proper coverage. And I know we're going to get some shit for that in the comments below, but I will fully absorb all the comments on behalf of my two partners. Because the game is just going to be fucking Steelers all day long. So
I will say, so I'm married to a Steelers fan. It's like the one major flaw, but the man I married he's a Steelers fan. It's a major flaw. I love you, honey. But the Steelers still are not. I mean, the latter half of that game on Sunday against the Vikings, they finally clicked.
Yeah.
But they were not the Steelers team that we had grown used to watching. But I think the Bears are bad. And so I think the Steelers are going to have a field day.
I think it's
and that defense is going to eat, and that offense is going to eat, and Le'Veon's going to just run it up their rears, and AB is going to just catch some crazy ass passes.
Yeah. So we said we weren't going to talk about this game, and now we're talking about this game. But your point about that defense feasting is proof positive that I think it's. I know that they're just super hesitant to do it, and I know John Fox is just a super conservative head coach. Just fucking bench Glennon. Just see what Trubisky's got. Just fucking mix things up. Like, Glennon doesn't have it anymore. Glennon had a very short window in his career with Tampa Bay where he looked kind of sort of good. It was that game several years ago where he almost beat Seattle and everybody was super high on him and all the teams are kind of looking at him. I don't think he's that great. I think it was kind of a fluke. So, no, get rid of Glennon because he's just going to keep throwing picks. He's going to make an ass out of himself this Sunday, and it's Trubisky time. Just do it.
I agree. Yeah, you take him and then you don't play him. And you don't have, I mean, I don't think they, like, even with that offensive line being mediocre at best, I think I'd put him in.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I like Trubisky, so.
Yeah.
So unanimous Steelers pick.
Mm-hmm.
Next up is the Buccaneers and the Vikings. And they're playing in Minnesota.
Yeah, you go first, Paige.
So it's the first road game for Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
partially because
they
there
didn't
was
have
no game the first week
Yeah.
because of Hurricane Irma, you bitch, ruining football. So I don't think that if Bradford plays, I think it's going to be closer.
That's a deciding factor.
And I think but I think even so, I kind of made my pick with Bradford being there in mind.
Yeah.
Whether or not he is, we'll find out. But I don't think that that with Tampa's improvement on the defensive side of the ball, that regardless of whether Bradford's back or not, I don't think the Vikings are going to win this one.
So you're going Bucs?
So I picked Bucs.
Yeah. Alex?
Yeah, I was torn on this one actually. I'm also gonna go with the Bucs. I was really close to choosing the Vikings on this one, but yeah, I don't have a long-winded explanation for it, but I'm gonna go with my gut this time and go Bucs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bucs as well and make it unanimous. Jameis Winston continues to impress me with his increasing maturity. That ground game has really taken off with Jacquizz Rodgers, coming into his own. He was dominant last week. The passing game is solid. The defense is looking good.
Yeah.
Again, it comes down to whether or not Bradford's going to play. But I think even with Bradford in, I think right now the Bucs are the better team. So I'm going to go with the better team. It's going to be the Bucs.
Yeah, people are talking about Thielen all day, and I mean, I picked him up just in case, but he's still sitting on my bench, so I'm not going to put him in this week.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, it's a bad week. Yeah.
Yeah. Not until Bradford comes back and he's 100% positive, ready to go. So. Yeah,
and I think even then it's still kind of a situational.
Yeah, it depends on the defense.
The defense is going to be key in that.
Yeah.
So next up we've got Dolphins and Jets. We can give this the Bills treatment.
Should we just it's Dolphins.
Dolphins.
They were super impressive. Jay Cutler, we've already said before, looked like he was having a blast. He looked solid. The deep ball was good. Kenny Stills, who was boom or bust, he was boom.
Booming.
I think they're going to keep those good times rolling.
Agreed.
I think they're going to roll right over the Jets, who were honestly just tanking. Let's just be honest.
They're bad. Yeah.
Well.
They're intentionally bad. They liquidated the roster. They have no intention of winning any games. They have no intention of doing anything. They're just going to tank for another quarterback or whatever they're going to tank for. So, Dolphins.
Yep. All right.
Dolphins.
Unanimous. Dolphins.
Dolphins. Alex. Dolphins. Cool. Moving on.
Dolphins. Yeah.
So this is my pick, and DT and I, when we talked before, we both agreed this was like kind of maybe the game of the week. Falcons and Lions.
Officially, the second draft.
Game of the week.
Game of the week.
Game of the week.
Game of the week.
Alex, why don't you start us off with this one?
I'm gonna go Falcons this time. I don't know. I didn't really think too much about this one. I think it's worthy of Game of the Week, but I don't know. I don't think the Lions have it. I think the Falcons have a lot of momentum still, and it's going to be hard down. Matty Ice.
Matty Ice. And Julio.
Oh, it's the true Matty Ice versus the guy that they just kind of call Matty Ice sometimes for whatever reason.
It's like his poor man substitute.
Matthews DeFord.
I will say, though, that game last night was a freaking blast to watch.
Yeah, last night's Monday. Yeah, again, we're recording this on Tuesday night, so we just watched Monday Night Football last night, which was the Lions and the Giants.
That was fun.
Yeah.
So Alex picked the Falcons. I also am going to pick the Falcons, but the Falcons are out for blood. After that Super Bowl,
yes,
they had all the pieces.
They really do, man.
My God, they could have put Tom Brady in a bag and tossed him in the trash, but they didn't. They didn't. So they're out for blood. I think this is going to be a hell of a game.
I think so too.
I'm really excited. On top of Julio and Matty Ice, they have Tevin Coleman, Devontae Freeman, Mohamed Sanu, Taylor Gabriel. I think it's going to be a killer game. There's a ton of defensive depth on both sides, so those defenses are going to have a ton, and there's a ton of talent at all the skill positions. So, but I think with the combination of Matty Ice and Julio, I'm picking the Falcons to win this one. Yeah. But if the Lions win, I won't be sad, even though they're in the NFC West.
Right.
I love it's like the Cinderella story almost. Or like I love seeing the Lions be good at football. So if I was wrong, I'd be okay with that.
NFC North.
Yeah, sorry, NFC North.
Yeah, that's okay.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll go next.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to Falcons as well, and for mostly the same reasons that Paige said, because the Falcons are just on a fucking rampage. They are on a revenge tour.
They definitely are.
Yeah, like if Quentin Tarantino ever made a movie about football, he'd make a movie about the Atlanta Falcons coming back and just fucking murdering everybody.
Yeah, and
So,
Dan Quinn's like Dan Quinn is. I said it last week. I think Dan Quinn's a fucking man,
dude.
I want Dan Quinn as my head coach.
There is no
sometime
coincidence.
in my life.
Yeah, there's just a life coach. Like you just want to have him
My
walk
life
behind
coach,
you.
like my football team coach.
Yeah.
Everything. Yeah, I love Dan Quinn.
There is zero coincidence that the Seahawks peaked with Dan Quinn as their defensive coordinator, and when he went to Atlanta, they all kind of dissolved and kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
They're still formidable, but dude, Dan Quinn is the real fucking deal. And yeah, we're relatively new in terms of the whole NFL blog game.
Yeah.
There are entire blogs devoted just to Devonta Freeman with good reason. The man is a fucking monster, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun game. Again, it's my game of the week as well. I think both Matts are gonna put on a good show.
Yeah.
Galladay is gonna be a player to watch again this week. But yeah, I think it's gonna be the Falcons. I think they're just gonna keep rolling.
Yeah.
There's a really interesting video that I saw today about the last Super Bowl. It just basically features this, made by the NFL, I think, features all of the reporters who are writing pieces, because you have to get that piece out right as the game ends. And so in the third quarter, beginning of the third quarter, they've all got basically their story done, finished. And they said they all had to rewrite it as the game unfolded in the fourth quarter. And it's pretty wild to check out. Maybe we can put it in the description or something like that. But it's
that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
Being married to a sports writer, he's told me stories of when like that shit happens. Like you have everything all figured out, and then
yeah,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
What just happened? And then Tom Brady.
I think the key thing with the Falcons is they do need to figure out how to not lose the game in the fourth quarter. The defense needs to continue, and I know they spend, that offense is pretty efficient.
Yeah.
So they spend a fair amount of time on the field. But they, I don't know if they just need to put kale in their juice in the morning or do more cardio or something, but they do need to hang on to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no mistakes.
We're still seeing
no mistakes in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Yep. It's killer. I mean, yeah. That's how Arizona got our win.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, no 91-yard drives at the end of the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So up next.
This is the big one for Alex.
The big one for Alex. The Broncos and the Bills.
I'm going to take the
Bills.
The
boys.
homer. I'm excited to see the week that you don't pick the Broncos.
Yeah, I know it's going to be rough because I'm sure there will be one.
Yeah,
I'm sure
there
will
be at least
be
one. Yeah.
I feel like if there was going to be one, it was going to be last week against the Cowboys. I'm a Broncos fan as well. I mean, it's a family thing.
Yeah.
Like the Broncos are like our family team, and I was firmly in the belief that the Cowboys were going to take it by a narrow margin. I was surprised.
I don't know. I was split last week, I'll admit, and so when you're split like that and you can't quite make the decision, I went with the home team, and I'm glad for it because they trounced the Cowboys. So
it was beautiful. Yeah, you guys defensively just shut the shit down.
Yeah, dominated.
That run game was gone.
Like Akib with his pick six was just unfucking believable.
Yeah, and I think I had a tweet about how much I love Aqib Talib, and it was very short. I was like, I think it was like, I love you, Aqib Talib.
Damn it.
We're gonna need an aside for that. Okay, so Alex and I are, well, since he moved out of town. Before that, we used to get together with a group of people every Sunday to watch football at our favorite brewery, and we came up with this game because Aqib Talib.
That's right, I forgot. Shit.
Was it last year or the year before?
It was the year
He
before.
had that absolutely flagrant penalty where he walked up to the wide receiver and he didn't just get in his face. He literally tried to put his fingers in his face mask. So we turned it into it started out as a drinking game, then it became a betting game. We call it the game of Aqib. And you have to block your eyes like Three Stooges style.
Three Stooges style, yeah.
Yeah, and if you're the last person to do it, you have to take out $1 and throw it down on the table.
Yeah.
And what we do is we take all those dollars at the end of watching Sunday football, and we just put it towards the tap.
I remember like watching that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
With you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
at SBC. Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah. So sorry to interrupt, but we're gonna keep doing that every time somebody says
leave.
So yeah.
$1.
So.
I love that man.
When he's not trying
defense
to
is just
dude's
fun
eyes and he's not shooting himself in the leg, he's great.
I mean, but defense, like.
Yeah, he's an amazing corner.
Like I miss like smash mouth football. Not too many teams play it, but that guy knows the true meaning of that phrase for sure.
And I think what's cool too is that there are so many home team people that are just watching their games, and they'll tune out when the defense is on the field because they just want to see the skill players in action. And I've met so many Broncos fans that are like that, but over the last couple of years, people are watching the whole game now, and that's great.
Yeah,
I'm happy to have a powerful defense more than skill players or kind of ambiguous positions such as quarterback.
Yeah.
Simeon's getting there.
Yeah, I'm surprised by Simeon's progress.
I am too. Honestly.
I really am.
Yeah.
And
after the game against the Cowboys, he's the fucking starting quarterback. He is the man.
Yep.
He is the guy.
Yeah.
I did not expect that, honestly. I'm sorry, Trevor, but you've officially won me over. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, and so obviously we're not picking the Bills for the fella that I don't remember his name from YouTube. That we apparently dissed last week. I'm sorry. But my analysis when I was going into it was trying to give every game its due. And there's a lot to talk about with the Broncos. It's their first road game. They've got 2 wins at home. Mm-hmm. The Bills' offense has major issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think we would be ill-served to underestimate the Bills' defense. They sacked, as my husband calls him, Camuel Newton. They had 6 fucking sacks against Cam last week.
Yeah.
And they forced 2 interceptions against McCown in week 1.
Yeah.
So that defense is their defense is as stout as their offense is bad.
Yeah, never count out the Bills' defense.
So don't underestimate the Bills' defense.
Exactly.
Yeah. But the offense for the Bills relies heavily on LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah, and there was rumors they were looking to get rid of him in the offseason.
Entirely.
It's crazy. That's just bananas.
Yeah.
Don't. Like, fucking why?
Yeah, I remember talking to you about where we would send him if we could send him somewhere. I think we ended up deciding on the Packers if we could send him somewhere.
Green Bay would be massively improved. They would be
dominant. That would be really good.
Yeah. I mean, LaShawn McCoy's the guy's a fucking monster. I love watching that guy play football. But since Denver's defense was so effective against Zeke last week, I think LaShawn, I think if you have him in fantasy, like, you can't not start him.
Yeah.
But I don't, like, if you have maybe, like, an equal option, a lateral option, I would go with the lateral option.
Yeah.
Because Zeke got 8 yards.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah.
So.
And the Bills don't have that offensive line either.
They don't. No, they don't.
They don't. It. Yeah.
So I think their run game's going to disappear.
I think so too.
And so Denver is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking welcome back, CJ Anderson, you beautiful human being, you fucking monster. I remember picking him up off the waivers his rookie year and just like winning my first fantasy football championship with that dude on my roster.
Yeah.
And proof that your draft is not where you win your league. It's the waiver wire shit that you do.
Yeah, you gotta get creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all about matchups and but fucking welcome back, CJ Anderson.
Team must be like a water.
Nice. Bruce Lee. Okay.
So did we? We're all going Broncos.
Yeah. Broncos.
Yeah, we
Ding,
all
ding, ding.
romanticized. We waxed poetic about the Broncos.
We spent extra time on the Bills, so nobody complained this week.
That's right. We got you, fella who was upset about the Bills thing last week. Saints and Panthers. Alex picked the Saints last week, so who are you picking?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'm actually picking the Panthers this week. I like the Saints. They're probably one of my favorite teams to watch, just because you never know what Drew Brees is going to do, especially when he's coming from behind. I know he gets a lot of points in garbage time, but I've
beat
had
me last week with those stupid fucking points.
I did. Yeah, I was really pleased about that, especially with such a terrible showing with Ty. I've since benched him, but we'll get to that in a little bit, I'm sure. The Saints, though, I've always had maybe 2 or 3 Saints through no planning on my fantasy roster.
It's
so
inevitable.
I've got Mark Ingram this year. I think I had Mark Ingram last year too. And he's reliable. I mean, he's going to get you 5 points at worst. He's got a really high floor and a super high ceiling. So
he's all the things you look for.
But
in
it's all
fantasy.
garbage time with the Saints, though. So I will take it. But
I mean, last year
they're not super dynamic.
Drew Brees single-handedly basically won me my work league, which was fantastic. I mean, he's consistently putting up ridiculous points. Mm-hmm. I think one game in particular, he scored something like 60, which was more than the entire rest of my team combined, which was unbelievable. So, I mean, he's always going to score points, but I don't think that he's outscored the Panthers this week. I think they're warm and they want to get hot. So,
I'm gonna go Panthers as well. Not a good showing for them last week. I think they're gonna have to make some massive adjustments with Greg Olsen being injured and being out until I think they're projecting him to. Well, he's actually only going to be eligible to come off the IR on like November 26th.
Yeah.
So his season is effectively done.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to find some way to the running game is already getting going really well with both Jay Stu and McCaffrey. As far as the passing game, they're going to have to find a way to make Kelvin Benjamin relevant again.
Yeah, they need to bring him back. They need to find that chemistry.
Yeah, I think it's due in part on Kelvin Benjamin, too. Like, he's not somebody who works especially hard in the offseason. It takes him a long time to get going when the season starts again. If they can do that, and this would be the perfect week to do that, to build that chemistry, because that Saints defense is so fucking weak. I'm going to take the Panthers, but I think they're going to have to work for it a little bit, honestly. Not terribly hard, but they're going to have to work for it. They're going to have to figure that shit out. And again, it's a really good week for them to figure this shit out.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm going Panthers too. Their defense looks fine.
Yeah,
their defense looks good.
Yeah.
It's the defense we've grown accustomed to seeing play.
Luke Kuechly
in
is
Carolina.
Great.
Yeah, I mean he's great. But I think they're going to have a solid game against the Saints. The Saints are in their 4th season going 0-2.
That's unbelievable.
4th season in a row.
If Sean Payton is on the hot seat, he damn well should be.
I think he probably is.
He's got to be.
It's a rough place to be a football fan. Unless you watch college football and then you're an LSU fan, probably. So you're mostly happy most of the time.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm going to New Orleans in October, and I'm planning on seeing a Saints game. And I was kind of thinking about getting tickets to see LSU at Death Valley. The tickets for the Saints game are so much cheaper right now than LSU tickets.
Wow.
It's unbelievable.
LSU looks decent this year. So,
yeah, like Saints, I'm looking at maybe like the 14th row on the 50-yard line for maybe like $300. Like shit tickets for the Tigers are like that much. Like, it's crazy.
Well, and football in Louisiana is huge. I have a friend who went and graduated from LSU, and
nice.
She's a rabid fan. So they drive from Shreveport. Like if they move because her husband gets different jobs.
Yeah.
But no matter where they are, they travel to the games every weekend. So
nice.
They've got that kind of loyalty.
That's cool.
Yeah, but it's a fun place to see a football game.
I'm excited. Yeah, I've never been to Louisiana. I've never been to New Orleans. I've obviously never been to the Superdome. So I'm psyched for everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I wish I could just hang out in your luggage and then go with you to the game.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
You're small. Maybe we can fit you into like a carry-on.
I wish. Okay, so next up, so we're all unanimous Panthers.
Yeah.
I have been going back and forth on this next game, and it's mostly just because these teams are both not good to garbage.
Yeah.
Browns and Colts.
This game is so bad that it warrants
I'm
analysis.
going to watch it
because
the
shit could go either way in like a really intriguing manner.
Yeah.
Can we
I'm
have
gonna watch it 'cause
a
I'm not
second
gonna-
draft
either
dumpster
that or-
fire of the week? Because
Yeah.
Totally. In my notes, I said it's the garbage game of the week.
Garbage game of the week.
Garbage game of the week.
I'm gonna put flames in a video. And
Yeah,
shit.
do it, seriously.
Yeah, it's like lighting two dumpsters on fire and taking bets on which one burns out faster. I'm gonna say the Colts burn out faster and the Browns win.
Yep, that's what I have picked too. I got the Browns for the Colts.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm salty because of Ty, and I picked him up really early in the draft,
Yeah.
which was a poor decision.
Well, you banked on luck. Everybody.
I did.
On luck.
I
The
did
Colts
bank
in
on
general
luck.
bank on luck, and
Yeah.
it's just not.
Both figuratively and literally.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want the Browns to be good, you guys. I do. And I like
Think
it's
we all
kind of one of
do.
those things where like I want to watch the Lions be good at football again. And fucking Jim Brown. Like you watch footage from when Jim Brown was playing.
Jim Brown
like
was
that
amazing.
shit is awesome.
Yeah.
The team was great. I miss watching that. I mean, not that I was alive to watch it, but considering that all my family is Browns fans, there's plenty of like, oh, we bought the whatever edition of this season so we could watch it all and relive glory days.
So your family is the family that stays up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and they buy those DVD collections like the golden years of the Browns.
A few of them, yeah. For sure. And then my cousin who actually works for Prairie, his dad, when he was, my cousin Kevin's only a couple years younger than I am, but his dad told him, don't pick the Browns as your football team. You're forever going to be heartbroken. So I don't remember who he roots for, but it's definitely not the Browns. But he was born and raised like in Parma. And if you are familiar with Cleveland, Parma is like, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
It's not
a
the
hop and a
Bengals.
skip. I don't think it's the Bengals. I don't think he would do that. But so yeah, garbage game of the week for sure. The Colts. So we get to talk a little bit about last week and the Cardinals game.
Just a little bit.
And then I'm gonna have to get up and get another beer because
We'll take a halftime.
Halftime?
because
Halftime.
because oh god, the Cardinals. The Colts played a decent game, but only because the Cardinals played a trash game.
Yeah.
But the Browns are their second consecutive game on the road, and I'm like one of those people who digs for weird stats. The first time in 3 years, the Browns are favored to win a road game.
Wow.
Yay, Cleveland.
No.
Both
Surprised.
Yeah.
Fireworks and shit.
Both teams are basically at rock bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, you really can't go any lower. But the Browns, and so I'm picking against the Browns this week. I'm picking the Colts.
Really?
Wow.
Yes.
All right.
That's why I'm going, like, that's why I started with this long diatribe, because I already knew I was disagreeing with you guys. And I belabored and, like, dug into this in my gut. I want to believe in the Browns, but this week I can't. The Browns have zero luck in recent games going in as the favorite team.
It's funny you say that because the Colts have zero luck too. Good night, everybody.
We'll be here all season, you guys.
We're so sorry.
I'm not. This is fun. So, going into games as the favored team, in the last 15 games where they went in as the favored team, they're 5-10. And Myles Garrett is doing nothing. And so I'm going Colts.
Okay. Yeah. You've done your homework.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
We'll see. You thought I was wrong about Miami last week.
That's true. That is true.
So, this can't be my upset of the week because everyone's like,
Yeah, no, literally.
Like, which bad team? Like, somebody has to win. This isn't soccer. It can't be a draw.
Yeah, it can't be a tie.
Well, I guess
Cardinals
it could be.
fans
Yeah,
worst
that's right.
last
That's
season.
right. Last season, yeah. I mean,
It
the
could be a
likelihood of
tie.
it happening. Oh shit!
This
would that
might be a fucking.
fun?
Can they tie it 0-0?
Yes.
I really
They
hope
can't-
not.
Yeah,
Like
they can. That would be.
3-3,
I mean, that would be the most boring game of the century.
It would also kind of be one of the most amazing historically.
Well,
But-
Cleveland.
Then the NFL will
like,
steal our
disappointing city,
shtick and
so-
call that the garbage game, like, officially.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, garbage game of the week.
Yeah.
This is. I mean, it's a race to the bottom.
Yeah, you know
It's
how like
it's these two teams and the Jets.
yeah, you know how like the Cowboys are America's team. Like I feel like whoever loses this game is going to be like North Korea's team.
No,
Kim Jong Un
honestly,
or whatever.
what I'm hoping is happening right now is that the Browns are coming up and the Colts are coming down, and they're just kind of meeting in the middle right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
it's like a lateral. It's like a car crash, and you're
Yeah.
not going to be able to look away because they're on the same plane of awful.
And the car
Yeah, I
crash
guess
is gonna
this
take
angle
3 hours
is
to
not-
have.
I will say the Browns have way more potential. Even
Yeah.
I mean, even with all the things and injuries this week or last week,
Yeah.
but the Colts are
They're just bad.
they're bad. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't have faith in the Browns this week.
Yeah. I call timeout.
Time out.
There you go. And that was halftime. And I gotta say, we have way more attractive cheerleaders than the Cardinals do,
It's true.
and many other teams in the NFL. So we're back. I hope you guys enjoyed that nice little brief break to stop and grab a beer or make a sandwich or whatever it is you did.
Yeah.
We grabbed a beer.
We
What do
grabbed a beer.
What do we got, Paige?
So we are drinking Tetra City by Modern Times.
They're from San Diego.
Brewery out of San Diego. They brew a shit ton of fantastic sours if you're into that. But this is actually, they're calling it a dank tropical double IPA. So we're at 8.7% alcohol.
Fuck me. That's definitely a double.
DT gets to sleep where we're recording, and I have to drive home. So I probably should have thought about that when I picked it up.
IBUs are what, 80? So it's gonna be
Yeah,
fairly
so
hoppy,
it's pretty
I'm excited,
hoppy.
yeah.
Doesn't smell super hoppy. The nose is pretty balanced.
Definitely tropical. It's
So it's got Citra, Simcoe, Centennial, and Cascade hops.
Simcoe for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so you definitely get the that big like tropical
Yeah.
explosion. It's good.
It's very good.
I'm a huge Modern Times fan. It's a great place to like go get a burrito and like hang out in San Diego if you're over there.
Nice.
But they have just a range of really fantastic beer.
I've had their amber. Their amber was
Yeah.
very solid.
Yeah, it's really.
Yeah.
I almost picked that up, but I was like, you already said you had that, so I
Yeah.
think
So
that's
we
fine.
like to mix it up here in the second
Yeah.
draft and give you guys impressions on beer we never had before.
Yeah, they have a great blueberry sour. It's one of my faves.
Blueberry beers are really good if they're done right.
Yep.
I'm drinking Dragoon IPA from Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah.
Try to keep
Oh, one of the like 3 good things that comes out of Tucson. Dragoon.
Yeah, I
make
like
fucking
Dragoon
amazing
Brewing
beer.
Company.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've only had a few.
they're in like a warehouse on like the north side of Tucson. I grew up close to Tucson.
Yeah.
So I can have my opinion of Tucson being crappy. I used to live there. Back to football.
Let's do it.
So next up, Texans and Patriots. Texans surprised us last week.
They did.
We all picked not the Texans.
And the Texans did the win.
That was
They won the
my
thing.
biggest fall last week, is because I was kind of split there, and I went against my defense, which was idiotic. I knew it was going to be kind of a lower scoring game, but yeah, I'm going to go with the Pats this week.
I'm gonna go Pats as well.
Same.
Do we need much explanation for it?
No, I mean, Deshaun's. I don't know. I don't know if we need much explanation, but they just.
Deshaun Watson is a great quarterback. I think he's got potential to be. He was a great college quarterback, very adaptable. I think he's got potential to be a good pro quarterback too. But I'm terrified for him that he's going to be another victim of the Houston quarterback grinding machine. Like, he's just going to get ground up and used up and tossed aside, and he's going to have to fight. Whether or not he becomes a guy and he does really well in Houston, or if he has to end up going somewhere else, he's going to have to fight. He's going to be somebody who's probably going to end up being a backup quarterback on some other team and fight his way back up and find his footing somehow, some way. Unless he's just fucking dynamite and everything just suddenly clicks for Houston, which I don't think it's going to. It's going to be years before he's where he wants to be in his career, sadly. But it's going to be the Patriots.
Yeah,
it's just going to be the Patriots. Even with
I think
Gronk
week one with the Patriots Chiefs, it was kind of a fluke. I mean, I think they were shaking off the cobwebs still. First game of the regular season. I think the Chiefs also just look really good.
Yeah, and I think they did expose a few weaknesses in the Patriots. But I don't. The Chiefs were poised. I mean, that was like a perfect time for the Chiefs to come in and just take the ground out from under them.
Yeah.
But the Patriots are at home in Gillette, and that's a really tough place to play.
They lost to the Chiefs in Gillette.
They did, but I just don't. I think that Carson Palmer's 2015 season was an anomaly, just like I think the Patriots against the Chiefs in week one was an anomaly.
I don't think it was so much an anomaly as it was the Chiefs being really good and the Patriots needing to figure some shit out.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick is a master at adjusting, and he has adjusted since that loss.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm still a firm believer in the Chiefs. I don't think that was the Patriots' game to lose. I still think it was the Chiefs' game to win. And I think they're still going to go on to do great things. The AFC West as a whole is shockingly competitive this season.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, even this early out the gate. Yeah. Like, the Chargers are going to probably, bring up the rear. But I was dead set on the Raiders being, the dominant force and everybody else following up. And now it's like the Broncos and the Chiefs are, in a deadlock with them. It's impressive. Yeah. So, no, I believe in the Chiefs. And I think that was the game to win. That was their game to win.
Yeah, and I think it built an immense amount of momentum for them moving forward in this season.
But it also lit a fire under the Patriots that maybe they were lacking because they just came off that Super Bowl win.
Yeah, maybe they got a little arrogant.
Yeah, but I think they kind of fixed that shit up with that win against the Saints.
Because even losing Hightower, they looked sharp.
Yeah, see, going back to my prediction for the Saints and the Panthers, I think this is the game for the Panthers to work out all those kinks and figure out their offense again and get going. That's exactly what the Patriots did with the Saints as well.
Yeah,
so
it's
sadly,
the opportunity. We'll see
the
if
Saints are that springboard for all these other offenses to get really good. So, but no, I think the Patriots are back on track. I think they're going to beat the Texans.
Yeah. Unanimous. So next up, Giants and Eagles in Philly.
I'll go first again. I'm going to go with the Eagles. I don't think the Giants have it. I think the defensive line for the Eagles is too strong to not dominate that Giants offensive line. So, I think it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going Eagles too. That Giants offensive line they can't block anybody.
So bad.
And I'm a kind of a Twitter nut. And it was circulating on Twitter. Just somebody had made a GIF. I'm sure multiple people did. Of Washington's hit against the player Washington hit on Eli. And he just fucking he leveled the shit out of Eli Manning. How badly does Eli get messed up this week?
You can see every time
that Philly
the series
defense,
ends, he's sitting on the sideline just.
He's got head
completely obliterated.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe they haven't concussion protocoled him yet. He's getting hit really hard. Yeah. And repeatedly. I mean, every series that guy is just he's under fire. So, I've never been an Eli Manning fan. I was never a Peyton Manning fan except for recognizing that he was an incredible talent. Mm-hmm. I know, but he didn't play for that long.
He played enough.
He was an incredible quarterback. Yeah. Eli is not his brother, and particularly behind a trash offensive line like what he's playing behind. And I kind of feel bad watching him get hit like that. It's actually it makes me feel bad in like the core of my soul.
Yeah, it's just
because
unfortunate.
that's what's happening to him is demoralizing.
Yeah, I think even if you're a fan of one of their rivals, the Eagles, the Redskins and the Cowboys, I think there's no schadenfreude there. Like it's just sad.
Yeah.
Like it's no.
And as proved in the Monday night game, Eli to OBJ is not what it used to be.
It's incredible how much they've been exposed for OBJ being such a massive crutch for Eli at this point in his career.
Yeah.
You take OBJ out, and you've got Brandon Marshall, who I still think he's a great wide receiver.
He is. He really is.
He's completely irrelevant because Eli just can't.
Yeah.
Can't throw the ball.
OBJ's circus act, his incredible one-handed catches, his incredible athleticism makes Eli a better quarterback, and it should be the other way around.
But that offensive line, I mean, they give Eli no protection.
Yeah.
And then the other reason I'm picking the Eagles is fucking Carson Wentz.
Yeah, man.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Kid's on fire.
2 games, so I mean this season, but we've only had 2 games, but he's both games 300 plus passing yards. And 2 passing touchdowns. And that dude is the only dude named Carson in the fucking league that plays quarterback that can run a goddamn ball.
It's funny, last year I expected
There's
Carson
2,
to come out of
and
gates.
one of them is on my team, and he can't run a goddamn ball.
What were you saying, Alex?
I was saying last year I expected Carson to kind of come out of the gates. I thought he was going to be a lot more fired up, and he didn't really land it. But I think this season he really took this offseason and made something out of it, and now he's just
he's on fire.
He's on fire. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with the Eagles D being great up
and
front.
I love watching it. It's some more interesting games.
Yeah.
I mean, I would switch Carsons if I could.
God, instantly.
So, so I think really the only question in this game is how fucked up does Eli walk out of this game, or does he even walk out? And does he make it through the season like a whole person?
I say he makes it through the season. He doesn't do it happily or healthily, but he makes it through the season.
I wouldn't be shocked if he retired when his contract was up.
He's done enough in the league, but do you think that he'd do well elsewhere?
No. I don't think anybody at this point would take a risk on him. I wouldn't. No, I think he's probably just going to ride out the rest of his career and probably retire a Giant. He's got the 2 Super Bowls with him. At this point, it just ride it out with the Giants and just retire. Maybe even retire early, because he's clearly not having a good time.
He looks miserable.
He just looks like he's just...
The whole game.
Looks like Jay Cutler with the Bears.
Yeah.
He's just horrifically unhappy.
Yeah, and he's not young enough, I don't think, to really move on to another team.
He's not. He's not going to do a Manning and have like a career renaissance and go to the Broncos and just kill it.
I mean, he is a Manning, but he's not going to do a Manning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
he's not going to do a Peyton.
Right.
Yeah.
Did I say pull a Manning? No, he's not going to pull a Peyton.
Yeah, he's not going to pull a Peyton.
I hate comparing the two together because it's not fair for either of them. But no,
No.
I think he does not have the longevity that Peyton Manning had.
The longitude combined with the longevity.
Longevity.
Yeah. Making up new words on here.
Yeah, longevity is a word. Longevity was a word I just made up on the fly because I hadn't quite arrived at longevity yet. But I get there eventually.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress, yeah.
That's right.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we move on?
Yeah.
Next game?
Seahawks and Titans.
Ooh, I'm going to go first. Just
Do
because if we're going to call it an upset, it's going to be the Titans, and I think the Titans are going to win. I know it's a wild pick, especially for a Cardinals fan, to say that, but weighing the two teams against each other, like what both teams have accomplished up to this point, it's only like an eighth of the season we've seen so far, but like if you cut a pizza into 8 slices and you eat one slice, you kind of get a taste of what the rest of the pizza is going to be like. And I really like the Titans, and I think this is going to be a really good test for them, and I think if they win this game, they're going to be like fucking Super Mario catching the invincibility star, and they're just going to be like super fucking fired up. I think it's going to happen.
Yep.
I can see the Titans taking this, and I'm gonna on a lark. I'm gonna take the Titans to beat the Seahawks.
You've been a big fan of the Titans recently, haven't you?
There's a reason to be too, but I think if there's one flaw, this is a flaw that was completely exposed on Sunday. They need to find a way to get Derrick Henry more involved with that offense.
Yes.
I don't care how much you're paying DeMarco Murray. Derrick Henry is fucking hungry, and he is eating every time you give him the ball.
Yeah.
Give him more ball. Let him eat because he's fucking amazing, and I have him on my fantasy team, and he was on my bench, and he fucking went off. And you need to split touches between those two backs because they're both really dynamic backs, and you need to take full advantage of what you've got in that backfield because you're going to split defenses.
Yeah, exactly.
If nothing else, always have a running back on full steam, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just wear down that defense.
You've got two starting running backs on that team.
Yeah.
Utilize them because you're going to throw defenses for a loop. And I think against Seattle's defense, that would be the perfect time to experiment with that shit. See what works because you've got an elite defense.
Yeah.
See if Derrick Henry is actually the real deal and if he's good enough to split touches with DeMarco Murray. I think he is. And I think if they were to take that risk, I think it would pay off. I think, yeah. So, Titans, fucking listen to me.
What about you, Alex?
Again, I was split on this one. I'm going to go with the Titans this week. I think DT's just been preaching too much with them.
Am I affecting you? Yeah.
Yeah, I people talk about the Seahawks all the
bad.
time, and how they're always going to be an X factor and they're always going to be able to pull out the game. But I don't know. You've got me sold on the Titans for this week at least.
Yeah, and I mean, so I'm also going Titans.
All three of us.
The Seahawks look like trash. That offensive line, it's so bad. It's so bad. And I can't say that any part of me is sad about that because I love seeing the Seahawks be miserable. I don't love my friends that are Seahawks fans being miserable, but as a division rival, I love seeing them be miserable. The last two games have shown Seahawks offensive line to be worse than the Giants offensive line. It's really bad. I think it's the worst in football. I know I said that earlier. Does Russell make it to the end of the season without an injury? I'm going to go no. I don't think he can unless that offensive line steps up. It's really bad. Thomas Rawls has been reduced to nothing. Eddie Lacy, I'm over fucking Eddie Lacy. I don't get it. I wasn't ever on the Eddie Lacy train.
He's had zero impact on that team whatsoever.
Right.
So far.
The weight loss, woo!
But no,
hope you like money, Eddie, because, I mean, but, the Titans against Jacksonville last weekend looked much improved. And I think the Titans are going to pull this one out. And I honestly, if it's close, I'd be surprised. The Seahawks are just not good.
No.
They're not good.
No.
And their defense is not what it was last year. It's not good.
No.
Marshawn's gone. Just that whole team. I don't know what that, like, there's some solid talent still left, but I feel like the wind's been taken out of their sails.
Yeah, and I think the wind was taken out of their sails when Dan Quinn left.
Yeah.
I think he was...
And you slowly see it disintegrating.
He was, yeah.
It's not like a rapid drop, but it's definitely like a gradual decline.
I think Dan Quinn as the defensive coordinator was not only the driving force of that Legion of Boom defense, I think it was also the anchor. You've seen too much of egos and... the lack of chemistry and everybody kind of spreading out and not really clicking the way they did when Dan Quinn was running the show. I still love the Seahawks defense, though. I'm one of those rare Cardinals fans that really respects and likes Richard Sherman.
I like Richard Sherman a lot, actually.
He's talented.
He's crazy. I mean, I love defense. I'd be a total hypocrite to say I didn't like him.
Yeah, Richard Sherman is still a true shutdown corner.
Yeah, I fucking love that guy playing football.
He's elite as fuck. And Cam Chancellor, I love Cam Chancellor. I love that defense. I mean, as a whole, I hate them because I hate watching them destroy my team.
Yeah.
But as individual people and as a unit, they're just so fucking much fun.
Yeah, and I don't say anything nice about USC ever.
Welcome to the second draft where we talk about college football.
Yeah, sorry guys. I still maintain that college football is actually more fun for me to watch. But
it's gonna be me and Alex next week.
Whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
I have no reason to watch college football, and then the Buckeyes lost one game, and then just
Yeah,
fair
it's
weather
over.
fan.
It's over. Yeah.
Crazy person. But Pete Carroll's, he's fucking smart. But I don't know, like, they've lost something. They've lost that loving feeling. Let's plug some top in here.
Yeah.
Chiefs and Chargers. I have a ton to say, so I'll go last.
Alex, this is your division.
It is. It's all you, bud.
He looks like
Chiefs.
a deer in the headlights.
Chiefs.
Yeah. Do you want to elaborate on that, or should we move on?
I don't like the Chargers. Go figure. But
What about the Chargers specifically do you not like?
take a guess.
Phillip
Take a
Rivers.
wild guess. Yes, exactly. I don't like Phillip Rivers.
I don't like Phillip Rivers
big,
either.
big baby Rivers with his temper tantrums.
He's such a crybaby. Every time I've tried before to appreciate Phillip Rivers. I know he's got talent. You know, I think that he's good at throwing the ball. I think he's good at reading defenses. Fair, but every time there's a
reading
questionable
defenses than Carson Palmer is.
I'll tell you what, I would take him as a Cardinals quarterback in a fucking heartbeat.
Same.
Okay, he might be
But
a good pick for certain teams, sure, but I can't stand every time. You know, if he was my home team quarterback and he's going to bitch at the referee every single time there's a call like that, I would be humiliated. It was like when I watched Talib do the thing, you know, with the fingers. I was like, come on, we're a defense that's better than this. Like, we're on an upper echelon. We should not be doing this Three Stooges thing. So I don't know.
Rivers is too good for his own antics. I completely agree. Yeah. So that said, I'm going Chiefs because I've said before multiple times in this podcast, this YouTube video, this cacophony of brilliant football analysis and commentary. I believe in the Chiefs. Kareem Hunt.
Alex Smith was first round for a reason.
Alex Smith is dynamite.
He's been
Hunt
sleeping in the league for a bit, and you know, I remember talking to a bunch of people about about how he's just not been there and not been. Yeah. I
think the danger of him getting benched this year, and I think I saw something like basically him knowing that there was another option for them, like that really lit a fire under his ass.
I think so too.
And he knew he was slacking off, and he it's like most people. We all probably have people we work with who are like, if you don't force them to be their best selves, and they don't have a reason to be their best selves, they'll give you like a moderate amount of goodness.
Right.
But they're not going to give you everything they've got. And I think he's not phoning it in anymore. He is laying it all on the line.
Yeah.
He has there's you can go back and watch plays where he does a naked boot and just runs for 60 yards or something unbelievable. But I think what he needed was some weapons on his team. Yeah. Some other people to take away the target off of his back. And you know, I was at the game of the back half of the season last year at Sports Authority watching the Broncos play the Chiefs. And it was a great game to watch because, you know, it went into overtime and then we ended up losing it because Santos put one off the crossbar and in. And I walked out disappointed, but I was thinking like, damn, the Chiefs actually look kind of good.
Yeah.
And you know, that was when they started to kind of really warm up.
Yeah, I think this is by far the most complete team the Chiefs have had in years.
Mm-hmm.
I think Alex Smith his performance so far is absolutely a reflection of the fact that the Chiefs are built this season. The defense is solid. Kareem Hunt is an absolute beast of a rookie. He's dynamite. Tyreek Hill is an amazing wide receiver. Travis Kelce is on fire. Like, that whole team is just supercharged right now.
Yeah. And
I have got nothing against them. I hope that they keep that supercharge going. I hope they contend for the division. I hope that they surprise everybody and they really kill it. I think they've got an amazing momentum that the Chargers just don't have, despite the efforts of Phillip Rivers and Melvin Gordon, and Joey Bosa and Ingram. I think that defense is great, but I really thought the Chiefs' defense was going to terrorize Jay Cutler last week, and it didn't happen. So
Well, when you start your season beating the defending Super Bowl champions, I mean, they've got all of the momentum in the world. The only place they've got to go right now is down.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's hard to maintain that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my reasoning is that if the Chargers defense wasn't able to contain Jay Cutler playing his first game in the season with a whole new offensive scheme, everything, they've got no chance of stopping Alex Smith and what Alex Smith has got going right now. It's going to be the Chiefs. It's going to be the Chiefs all fucking day.
Yeah, and I'm going Chiefs too. I mean, so I'm betting on us seeing a couple things. Kareem Hunt with multiple touchdowns, because dude's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
And the Chargers are going to have the ball in the final minute, and then they're going to blow a very makeable field goal, because that's
the kicker.
Because that's what they've been doing.
I feel like the Chargers kicker is the next Aguayo. Brought in, being like the phenomenon he was supposed to be, and he just gets shut out
Pressures,
all the time.
yeah.
Tanks,
Yeah, and it's sad because I think he came from like South Korea, and please forgive me if I'm wrong there, but he was just an unbelievable, fantastic kicker where he came from, and he came here, and they're just like shutting him down.
Yeah. And that the field goal he kicks could get blocked. Because, last week, or 2 weeks ago,
week one,
I was so happy.
Well, I felt bad for the kicker because he kicked it perfectly, but they iced him, and he kicked it perfectly again. But whoever it was got his mitt and the right edge of his hand caught the ball and threw it off. So the kid kicked it perfectly, like it was on a trajectory, but the block threw him off, and that's gonna stick with him forever. Yeah. Like. Kickers, like, you've got one job, and that dude who blocked that kick just got inside your head for like the whole season.
Yeah.
So
the Chargers need to win this game,
but they're not going.
They're not going to. I don't think they're going to, but they really need to win this game because they need to keep the few remaining fans they have left. The game against Miami last week in LA had more Dolphins fans than Chargers fans by a stretch. And my husband and I went to a Steelers Chargers game at Qualcomm like 2 years ago. And I'm not joking when I say 3/4 of the people in that stadium were Steelers fans. And given that Steelers fans always travel well, they always do, that was bananas.
Yeah.
So that was essentially the Chargers are playing an away game every week. They play in their home stadium, and that is not good.
Well, they're a transplant. They're not established there, but they've got to win games to win over the local fan base.
Right, and there's no reason to. USC's on fire.
Yeah.
And so you've got two pro teams at a city that's already got a really solid college fan base.
There's no reason to jump ship.
It's proven that those don't always go that well.
Right.
And so I don't think, it's a lot to go to a college game on Saturday and a pro game on Sunday.
That is a very good point. It's something
lot.
I didn't even think about. Yeah.
And it's a lot of football. And a lot of people, I watch both. But there's a fair amount, and I'm a girl, so like girls who dig football usually watch a lot of football.
You are a unicorn.
Yeah. But just from the males that I know that are football fans, you're either a college fan or you're an NFL fan.
Yeah.
So if you're a college fan, like if you're living in LA, chances are you're probably a college football fan.
Sure.
If you're a football fan at all.
Because you've been with football.
You've got USC and UCLA, and they're just like 7-10 miles apart max, I think. And now you have two teams that are NFL that are playing, and neither of them can even match what USC alone is drawing.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. The Chargers really need to win this week. They're not going to, and I think that fucking douchebag of an owner is really gonna
The Rams owner or the Chargers owner?
Chargers owner.
Because they both have douche owners.
Yeah, no, but I think the Chargers owner is really gonna regret screwing over San Diego.
I think so too. Yeah.
If he doesn't already. Fuck that guy.
Yeah,
because some of those Chargers fans, they are rabid. Like the Chargers fans I know,
oh yeah,
they're diehard, and now they're pissed.
Now they don't have anything to be rabid about. Yeah, we're getting off on a bit of a tangent.
Sorry, guys.
We'll get back on the track shortly enough.
I mean, it's all football related.
Of the 3 major transplants in NFL, like they're happening either now or in the near future, I was kind of the mind that like the Oakland Raiders would have the worst time, like moving to Vegas. But watching the LA market and how many times the LA market has failed and how many teams have gone there and left again, I think the Raiders, especially if they do really good things this year and the following year, they might have the easier time transplanting to a brand new market.
It's not that far from the Bay to Vegas by plane. It's really not.
Well, I mean, they're not gonna get the Oakland fans. They're not gonna be a traveling market. People aren't gonna travel from Oakland to Vegas. I don't think so.
Because the fans that followed the Raiders from LA to Oakland, they're diehard. I think there's a lot of them. I work like a lot of my clients in my day job are huge Oakland fans, and they're all excited about Vegas.
I think Oakland was ready for the Raiders to come back, and I think they already had a fan base waiting for them, and I think that's why they've succeeded. However, if you want to really measure what they've done as success as far as ticket sales and whatnot, they've had a shit stadium to deal with and all that type of stuff. But
Oakland's rough.
Oakland is rough, but no, that was a city that had lost their team, and they got their team back. When they got their team back, and their team started getting really good, they were all on board. So I
don't think they're going to abandon ship though, the same way that I think that St. Louis fans have abandoned ship.
No,
and San Diego fans have definitely abandoned ship.
I know Oakland Raider fans here in Arizona who are looking at Mark Davis and what he's done to the team and how they're relocating to Vegas, and fans that are removed from Oakland that are actually from Oakland are transplants to Arizona who are still Raiders fans. They're not going to follow the team once they move to Vegas.
Be interesting to see how it plays out.
If you leave Oakland, then you're no longer the Raiders to me. So yeah, even if you're not in Oakland, there is a huge amount of resentment from them leaving Oakland again to go to Vegas. So I don't think they're going to travel.
I'm a huge Oakland fan. It's a rough town, but the people are true blue. And I fucking love Amy Trask. We were talking about this earlier, but one of the most prominent women in professional football. And she tweeted at me, and that like made my life. But I love the Raiders. I know it's hard for Alex being a Broncos fan, but there were a lot of Raiders fans around here growing up, and I've always had a love for the Raiders. I'm never gonna like actively root for them and over my own team. Sure. But I like the Raiders.
Yeah, it's like
so I hope they succeed wherever they go, and I hope the fans adjust.
They're not going to. They're gonna struggle. But again, the fact that they're doing really good things now, it's gonna help them establish a fan base in Vegas because they're already going to be a winning team.
Khalil Mack, that jersey is gonna be yours at the end of the year.
So what I was gonna say is that
I love it.
I obviously am not a Raider fan. I'm a bona fide Raider hater, but a lot of the most interesting conversations about the NFL that I've had have been with Raider fans because you talk trash and then eventually you understand this is a person that also enjoys football, and then you start talking about football. So, and that's great. But I've got a lot of friends who are Raider fans that I continuously talk trash with, but, they had about a 2 or 3 week stint where this announcement was made, and they're like, I need a new team now that my team is leaving. Let's shop around, and they can't go into the California market because what's going on with the teams there. So
right.
I don't think, honestly, with the move, they're going to lose a lot of their fan base. I think Vegas, people who are living in Vegas, it's not 50 years ago. There are a ton of people living in Las Vegas that are waiting for a team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they're going to struggle.
Their fans are pretty diehard. That's something that I've noticed.
And I think Raiders fans
been
are
against that.
Right.
I think they're angry, but I think en masse they're going to get over it.
Probably.
Because there's no other option. Who are you
Especially
going
since
to root
they're winning.
for? What are you going to give
Well,
up
those
football
same
altogether?
friends, exactly.
Yeah.
Those same
Like,
friends.
you're
that
not
I
going to
talk
fucking root
they're-
for the Niners. You're not going to root for the Rams. You're not going to root for the Chargers. So you're going to stick with the team that you've known and loved. Fucking Kenny Stabler played for the Raiders. Like, how do you...
They're not going to jump across the bay and start supporting the Niners.
No.
They're just
So
not.
they're either going to stop watching football, they're going to take a team way far away, or they're going to stick with the Raiders. They're not going to go California. They're not going
You're
to.
probably right.
They're
Yeah.
not.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, if you look regionally, they're not going to be a Seahawks fans too far. They're definitely not going to be Denver fans.
They're not
If
gonna be
anywhere
Cardinals fans.
they're going to
Why?
go to be
Why would
no,
you do that?
Well, if
Too
anywhere
far
they'll go
removed,
to the Chargers, and I don't think that they're
not
going
gonna
to.
happen.
I think
It's not
they're
gonna
going to
happen.
stay Oakland fans, especially with
agree.
all of this momentum that the Raiders have right now.
Yeah, they've made massive
They've got-
improvements.
They've got a fun team to watch. Arguably, got one of the most fun teams to kind of follow right now. I would say the Raiders and the Chiefs are. That's why the AFC West is so prominent right now.
Yeah.
They're some of the most fun
Derek Carr is fun.
teams to watch.
Marshawn
I haven't
Lynch
enjoyed-
has just been. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you
go
enjoy watching
I
them.
haven't really.
If
Yeah,
you
I mean,
remove
I don't-
yourself from the
I don't like the
situation
Raiders,
of the
but they're fun to
division,
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. That's good football.
I got Marshawn Lynch is on my team right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I follow them mostly because I've got Marshawn Lynch and I want them to do good things. But
Dude, Marshawn has been so much
when they
fun
play
to
the
watch on
Broncos,
that
I'm
team.
gonna be against them.
Totally. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
expect you to forfeit the loyalty.
Like, you know, sure, but you know, I look at the AFC West now and I'm like, okay, the Raiders are fun to watch. The Broncos are fun to watch because you don't really know what's going to happen right now. There's
Yeah.
the Chiefs. I haven't enjoyed watching the Chiefs games this much since Priest Holmes and Dante Hall and
yeah,
crazy guys back in the day. So,
yeah, a long time ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, we've spent a lot of time on the Chiefs and Chargers.
It was a good tangent.
But it
though.
was
I
good.
like that
Yeah,
whole relocation
yeah,
tangent.
yeah, and you know,
So-
California, like their football thing is just all it's all up in the air and
Yeah.
got some good stuff going on. But next up we have we only got 3 games left. So Bengals and Packers. I'm going Packers.
It's Packers.
Bengals have
Packers.
had a terrible season.
You know, I don't honestly. I'm gonna be the asshole here. I'm gonna say we've been going for about an hour and 45 minutes right now. We don't need to talk about this game. Marvin Lewis, get fucking fired. I've heard rumors that the Bengals team is on the verge of mutiny. Like they're on the verge of like
Yeah, their locker room's in upheaval.
yeah, to the
Yeah.
point where they're even talking about maybe like pushing for Kaepernick to be brought in. But Andy Dalton is not the problem. It's Marvin fucking Lewis. It's
But
their
he
offensive
fired
coordinator.
offensive coordinator, so they have a new one.
Yeah, they fired the offensive
that's gonna be
coordinator
interesting.
because he was made a scapegoat because Marvin Lewis is a fucking
He's
terrible
terrible.
coach.
Yeah.
But the ownership for the Bengals is completely fine putting out not even a mediocre product, just a garbage product because the team's still going to be profitable.
Yeah.
It's one of the problems with the NFL these days. But Marvin Lewis needs to get fired. And that team needs... They don't even need a rebuild. They've got so much talent on
They
that
have a
team.
shit fucking AJ Green. Like
But all of it is so horribly, terribly misused. So let's skim over this. It's going to be the Packers all day, and it's in Lambeau. So
it's at
there's
Lambeau.
not even any contest.
The only fun fact that I alluded to when we were talking earlier, the Bengals are weirdly the only team in football that Aaron Rodgers has never managed to beat.
That's gonna happen
He
on
has
Sunday.
beaten all of the other teams, obviously, except for the Packers, because that's the only team he's ever played for.
Congratulations, Rodgers.
But
He's
Aaron
beaten
Rodgers,
31
you have
teams.
beaten all the teams in football. Congratulations.
You'll never beat the Packers, but you've beaten everybody
But you've
else.
beaten everyone else. 31 of 32 teams. I think that's pretty fantastic.
Congrats.
On top of being
And
digged
Ty
up
Montgomery's
and-
developing nicely. I think they're going to
Yeah.
do good
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're Packers.
He's Bengals.
No,
He's
Packers.
He's Packers.
While
Packers,
you said
Packers.
Bengals, I typed Packers.
He's Packers.
Raiders, Redskins. So we don't have to go into the Raiders thing because we already went through all that drama.
Yeah.
So I'm picking the Redskins.
This is going to be where you are the one who doesn't pick the right thing, and Alex
Okay.
and I probably both picked the
Raiders.
The right. It's Raiders.
I picked the Raiders. Yeah.
It's gonna, for all the reasons we just talked about. Watching Marshawn Lynch dance to the music in the stadium as they were beating the Jets, that is literally the exact thing I said was going to be what he brought to that team.
Sure.
And watching the interviews for all the Jets players afterwards about
they
how
were
pissed off they were, angry they were, and resentful. You're the fucking Jets.
You
like,
should
I'm
be
sorry.
pissed. You play for a shit team.
Yeah, I'm sorry your front office liquidated your entire roster so they could tank for some unknown reason. But fucking, that's what Beast Mode does. Like,
yeah, he's awesome.
He was dancing not only because he was enjoying the shit out of himself, because the dude is playing for his childhood team and he's super fucking excited to be doing that, but also because he knew he was getting in every single fucking person's head on that other sideline.
Yeah.
It's the Raiders, like I said, like they've got a fire lit underneath them. They are just fired up, and they've got a complete team. And the Redskins look good. Don't get me wrong.
So but I think watching the Raiders, there are a few holes in the defense.
Sure.
And I think the Skins are going to be able to exploit that.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm picking the Skins this week.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think that.
But I think it's going to be an interesting game to watch. I think it's a fairly even matchup, honestly. But I'm picking the Skins.
They've got some issues with the Skins, though. Robert Kelly's hurt. So they're running with the backup running back who might have an opportunity to have a good game. He might go off. We don't know, but they're a little dinged up. It's gonna be the Raiders.
I'm the only Skins pick.
So Alex is going Raiders. I'm going Raiders.
That must really burn Alex.
He doesn't want to wear that Raiders jersey next season, so he's gonna pick Raiders because it's a safe pick. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all.
All right.
He's not saying anything.
I think it's just the pick, I don't think it's a safe pick. For me it was an obvious pick. I don't know. I was more split over 3 or 4 other games than this one.
Yes.
I think I would consideration wise maybe I don't know, 8th or 9th on the list of I wasn't sure. I am sure. I was sure. I was pretty damn sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, last game. We're down to the last game. Thanks for sticking with us, you guys.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football.
This has been a joyful.
No, I know. I've been having a blast.
I love this.
I would not want to listen to myself talk.
Yeah.
No, if the co-optional podcast can get away with talking about video games for 3 hours with 4 people,
that's true.
I think we're allowed to talk for an hour and a half about football with 3 people.
2 hours. So. Let's head 2 hours.
By the way, I love co-optional podcasts. Those guys are hilarious.
Yeah, they're funny. Yeah.
Total Biscuit is great.
Yeah,
all those guys are awesome.
So last game is the game that makes me sick to my stomach.
Cowboys.
It's Cowboys.
Sorry.
Cardinals and Cowboys.
Just say it, Paige.
The Cardinals are playing at home for the first time this season. I was conflicted all day yesterday. I was thinking about this. I'm picking the Cowboys. I don't want to. But Cardinals home opener. Cowboys on their second consecutive road game, and Denver obliterated their run game. However,
it doesn't matter.
If we had a smart coordinator, they would mimic Mike McCoy's game plan to stop Zeke. However, Betcher is an idiot. And if he bought into the strategy that Denver's coordinator employed to successfully shut down Zeke, would be maybe okay, but we're not going to do that because Betcher's an idiot. And we played shit against the Colts. Yeah. I mean, that should have been a runaway game, and it was complete trash, and we played like trash on both sides of the ball, and Carson Palmer still fucking sucks. So I'm going Cowboys, which makes me, I want to puke right now. Right here, right now, I want to puke, because it makes me sick.
If you're going to spew...
But I have amazing beer, so I'm not going to do it.
If you're going to spew...
No, I'm not going to, because it's amazing.
Into this.
No, it's great beer. I'm not going to do that, but...
Oh, it's empty glass.
No, I'm saying that, I have... great beer in my belly.
Trying to make a reference to Wayne's World.
I've never seen it.
Okay, yeah. There was a situation earlier before we started this podcast where Paige announced to me and the world As
No,
of
just
now,
to you. But now
she has
to the world.
never seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. And now it's come to light.
Oh,
It's come to light now that
most
she's never seen Wayne's World.
non-heinous,
Paige
bro.
needs a time machine. I assume you at this point. I assume you haven't seen Back to the Future.
No, I've seen it. It's all right.
Okay, so you're aware that time machines are a thing.
Not in reality,
you need
but sure.
one to go back and watch all.
I saw Wayne's World, but I was really high, so I don't remember it.
When it came out, because
It's
were
like-
I was like 8 when Wayne's World came out.
No, like in college.
All
Like
right.
a long time ago.
All right. Okay.
Like over 10 years ago.
I believe you.
All right, I'll watch it.
It's amazing.
Is it?
All right,
Is
I'll
it?
watch it.
Bill and Ted's is a classic. Bogus
It
Journey
is.
was weird, but still enjoyable if you're a Bill and Ted's fan.
Yeah,
Because they
which I am.
threw in the
Yeah.
Grim Reaper, and how's that not entertaining? If you enjoy the stupid humor of the first movie, you're going to enjoy a lot of the stupid humor of the second.
I think that's the problem is I don't really enjoy stupid humor.
Yeah, but it's not like
You're on
it's
the
not
wrong
the
podcast.
Will Ferrell stupid humor. The entire movie is validated by one line where he's like, "You killed Ted, you medieval dickweed."
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's hilarious. It's
Yeah.
stupid.
All right,
and
I'll
they're like
watch it
pretending
and
to
report
be
back next week.
they're pretending to be Vader and Luke because they're in like armor and they're just completely out of it that they're in a different time. They don't really care because they're just two stoners that enjoy having a bunch of fun and want to pass their final in high school and not flunk.
It's a great movie. It's a quintessential 80s movie. It's fantastic.
DT, are we doing a side bet for this week? I think earlier we talked about.
Yeah, we did talk
Sure,
about
Sure,
something.
yeah. Should we go public with this shit? Like, what do you got in mind?
My thought was just one of us next week has to be drinking a very terrible, shitty beer.
Yes, we're up against each other this week in fantasy, and we're both
Yeah.
2-0, so this is a big deal.
Ooh.
So, Alex, like, would you prefer like Coors or PBR, or like, what kind of terrible beer would you
Highlight?
like to be drinking next week?
Oh god, High Life, that's so bad. I said like MGD 64. I can't stand Michelob Ultra.
All right, so
I actually can't stand most crappy beers.
yeah,
The
So
Rocky
go
Mountain
ahead and-
Kool-Aid.
Go ahead and just like tomorrow while you're out, just go ahead and just pick up that beer just so you have it handy.
So what
Because
are you
you said
drinking
that,
if you
I'm
lose?
going to like ship Amazon Prime style shitty beer to your house.
I'm not gonna have to drink it. I'm gonna be fine. My team is stacked like a motherfucker. We just got tagged by YouTube for vulgar language.
We get tagged by
Well,
oh god.
I think we've already
YouTube's
been
doing all kinds
tagged.
of weird shit now. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I've dropped the F-bomb at least twice
I've
this
done
episode.
it at least a dozen fucking times. So
I've got a bank on
Baker's dozen now.
for this week though. I've got a bank on the Chiefs shutting down Melvin Gordon, which I think is possible.
I think
And
it's
I think if
possible.
they do that, then I'm gonna have a much better chance.
I gotta say, as the odd person out in this rivalry,
you hope I win.
I'm actually going Alex.
What? I got Tom Brady against the Bills.
Yeah, which is exactly why I can't root for you. It's fucking Tom Brady.
Get under the 30 points this week.
Should we
I'm gonna
give
be
the audience a
fine.
quick rundown of our lineup? I mean,
Yeah, do it, guys.
What I'll do is I'll post a graphic of our lineups.
There
that
you
way we
go.
don't have
And then
to
people can
listen
vote
to
on
it.
who they think is
So I
going
don't
to
want
win.
to pull out my phone and do that. So yeah,
Lazy.
yeah. But I think my declaration of victory in Alex's inevitable defeat is probably a good note to end on.
Yeah.
It's a happy note for me,
All right,
which
well,
is all that matters. So,
We appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
as always.
Talking
Point of
football,
contention.
drinking beer. Hope you drank beer while you were watching this.
Yes, and if you're at work and you're watching this during a lunch hour, we hope you're still drinking beer
Yeah.
because it's
Sneak
gonna
it
be.
in.
It's gonna be I'm hoping to get this video out like Wednesday afternoon. So
Yeah. All right.
So
We appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out.
I appreciate Alex for
Yeah.
showing up.
Way to go, Alex. Let's all give Alex a round of applause for showing up for week 3. And he's gone.
And he's gone. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
You hang up.
No, you hang up.
No, you hang.
No, you
You
hang
hang
up.
up.
Damn it.